Aquarius, the cosmic visionary, bearer of water, yet bound not to the tides, but to the storms of the mind. Between June 11th to 13th, the celestial winds shift. You are not merely living, you are summoned. This is not a test of intellect, innovation, or independence. This is a battle of shadow warfare, and your soul is the battlefield. This spiritual gauntlet, unfolding over 72 hours, is no coincidence. Cosmic pressure points a line, forcing your subconscious into visibility. The parts of yourself you exile, the fears, the regrets, the unacknowledged pride, demand your attention. Ignore them, and they will devour you from the inside out. Face them, and you may just awaken. These are the 6 spiritual trials you must undergo. Each one is a mirror. Each one will test your truth. Will you transcend your shadow or be consumed by it? Aquarius, you wear solitude like armor. You call it freedom, independence, clarity. But between June 11th to 13th, the silence you once cherished may start to echo back something deeper: disconnection. You may feel a strange emotional fog, close to others physically, but miles away energetically. It's not them, it's not you, it's your shadow self stepping forward and asking to be acknowledged. The truth you avoid you often pride yourself on being self-sufficient. You don't need to be rescued, explained, or reassured. But sometimes that distance isn't strength, it's fear. The part of you that says, "I'm fine alone," is often the same part that was once hurt, ignored, or left behind. Isolation is a defense, a brilliant one even, but over time it becomes a trap. When you numb your need for connection, you also numb joy, love, and belonging. Shadow message: that cool detachment you feel, it's not peace, it's protection. It's the part of you that fears intimacy because it fears being truly seen and maybe not being accepted. But Aquarius, real evolution begins when you stop hiding. True power isn't in needing no one. It's in allowing others to witness your depth without shame. Spiritual task: look back. Remember one moment when you pushed someone away, someone who genuinely cared because it felt safer. Maybe you ghosted them. Maybe you kept it surface level. Maybe you said you were okay when you weren't. Write it down. Don't edit the truth. Sit with it. Breathe into the discomfort. Then ask yourself, what would love have done instead? Would it have spoken honestly? Asked for support? Allowed someone to stay? This is your work. Not to regret the past, but to recognize the pattern and shift it. Gift beyond the mirror. This trial is not punishment, it's a sacred reveal. When you walk through the pain of disconnection, you reclaim the part of you that longs to belong. And once you stop hiding from yourself, you no longer fear being seen by others. You don't have to run anymore. Aquarius, you are the visionary, the one who sees beyond today and dreams of better tomorrows. You crave change, progress, evolution. But from June 11th to 12th, you may run into a harsh truth. Your ideals might be blinding you. Maybe someone questions your values. Maybe the world doesn't live up to your hopes. And suddenly you feel rage, disappointment, or just a cool withdrawal. That's not just frustration. That's your shadow whispering, they don't get it, so why even try? Shadow. Message: your higher ideals are beautiful, Aquarius, but be careful. When those ideals make you feel superior or disconnected, you may be using your beliefs as armor. You climb to a mountaintop of intellect and vision, but forget that true change starts in the messy, flawed human now. Avoiding chaos in the name of peace? That's not spirituality, that's escape. And here's the truth: the discomfort of disagreement, misunderstanding, and flawed humanity. That's where your soul grows. The spiritual bypass trap. It's tempting to believe that logic, ideals, and innovation should solve everything. But real awakening isn't always clean. It's hard, humbling, and deeply emotional. If you avoid the mess, you may miss the lesson. Your shadow isn't here to drag you down. It's trying to ground you, to remind you you're human too. And so is everyone else. Spiritual task. Find someone who sees the world completely differently than you. Not to debate, not to correct, but to listen. Not with your intellect, with your heart. Let go of the need to be right or wise. Let compassion take the wheel. Let yourself understand, not to agree, but to connect. Radical empathy is the bridge between your ideals and true transformation. What you'll discover. When you step down from the pedestal and into someone else's experience, your vision sharpens, not through perfection, but through presence. You are not here to escape the world. You are here to help heal it. And healing starts with understanding. Aquarius, your genius lies in your ability to analyze, predict, and adapt. You thrive in the chaos of innovation, but only when you're steering the wheel. On June 12th, expect a sharp turn. Plans break, tech fails, emotions surge. Suddenly, you're not the architect, you're the witness. And that's where the shadow shows up. Shadow message. Your mind is your greatest strength and your favorite hiding place. You use it to make sense of the world, to solve, to strategize. But when life refuses to follow your script, what's left? Beneath the need to figure it out is a deeper fear. What if you're not in control? What if you never were? That fear of helplessness, of collapse, is what this trial exposes. Your thoughts may swirl faster in an attempt to fix it, but the truth is, this isn't a problem to solve, it's a truth to accept. The illusion of control feels safe. It gives you order, rhythm, a sense of direction. But clinging too tightly to it can leave you anxious, brittle, and disconnected. And ironically, the more you chase control, the more you feel like you're losing it. There's freedom not in mastery, but in surrender. Spiritual task. Create a ritual of relief. On a piece of paper, write down every single thing you feel you must control. Your future, your relationships, your image, your outcomes. Light it, watch it burn. Let the smoke show you what your mind can't. Nothing is permanent, nothing is owed, and that's okay. Meditate on impermanence. Breathe in the present moment. Say aloud, I release the need to control what was never mine. The power you've been missing. You are not here to master the chaos. You are here to dance with it. When you stop gripping the reins, you find something unexpected, a deeper kind of wisdom, one that doesn't come from intellect, but from trust. You don't need to control the storm, Aquarius. Aquarius, you often present yourself as self-sufficient, untouchable, evolved. But beneath that cool exterior may lie a very old ache, the fear of being left behind. During this soul trial, between June 11th to 13th, something may stir this wound. Maybe a delayed text, maybe someone cancels plans, maybe it's just a strange silence. It'll seem minor, but the emotional wave that follows, that's not about now, that's about then. Shadow message, you're fierce, independent. The strength you take pride in may be rooted in grief. Somewhere along the way, someone you loved didn't show up. Or worse, they left. And so, you learned, don't need anyone, don't get hurt. But that defense doesn't heal. It only hides the wound deeper. The truth is, a younger version of you is still waiting for someone to return, explain, love, or stay. Don't rationalize. Feel. You may try to explain the feeling away. They're just busy. I'm fine alone. But this time, don't detach. Don't numb. Feel the hurt. Feel what that younger you felt. The confusion, the sadness, the shame of not being enough. You can't transcend what you refuse to touch. Spiritual task. Write a letter, not to the one who left, but to the version of you who was left. Close your eyes. See them. Maybe it's 5-year-old you on the steps. Maybe it's 16-year-old you holding back tears. Whoever they are, speak to them as a healer. Tell them they were never the reason someone walked away. Tell them they are worthy, wanted, and deeply loved. Tell them, I see you now. I choose you. I'm not leaving. This letter is more than words. It's an act of spiritual reparenting. You becoming the guardian your inner child never had. Healing doesn't mean the wound never happened. It means it no longer controls your story. What comes after? When you face the fear of abandonment with love instead of logic, you unlock your most powerful truth. You were never broken. You were always waiting to come home to yourself. And now, finally, you're here. Aquarius, you're a visionary, a voice for justice, truth, and collective evolution. You inspire others to think bigger, feel deeper, and do better. But on June 13th, the universe turns the mirror on you. This is not punishment, it's purification. You may find yourself in a moment of contradiction. Maybe you call out injustice, but ignore it at home. Maybe you speak of love, but avoid vulnerability. Maybe someone points it out, and it stings. Don't deflect. Don't spiral into shame. Pause, reflect, realign. Shadow, message. There's a fine line between authenticity and performance, between living your truth and advertising it. When ideals become identity, you may unconsciously act them out for validation rather than from conviction. But this is where your evolution sharpens. Can you hold yourself to the same standard you ask of others? Not to be perfect, but to be honest. We all have one, a space between who we say we are and how we show up daily. That gap becomes dangerous when we deny it. This trial asks you to close that gap with courage, not excuses. It's not about being right, it's about being real. Spiritual task. Think of one value you hold close, maybe equality, compassion, honesty, freedom, something you speak up for, post about, or stand behind publicly. Now ask, does my everyday behavior reflect this belief? If yes, celebrate it, reinforce it. If not, don't explain it away. Take one bold, visible action to bring your behavior into alignment. Apologize, change a habit, or have a hard conversation. Let that action speak louder than your words. Revolution without self-accountability is just noise. Authentic change starts from within. Why this matters? Your voice is powerful, Aquarius. People listen to you. But to truly lead, to truly inspire, you must become a living embodiment of your message. That means walking the walk even when no one's watching, especially then. This isn't about guilt, it's about integrity. And integrity, that's your superpower. Aquarius, you've faced the mirror, the wound, the collapse, the contradiction. Now comes the final test, the one no mind can outthink, no ego can outrun. Surrender. Between June 11th to 13th, you may feel stripped, exhausted, disoriented, like the structures you've carefully built, roles, relationships, ideas of self are crumbling. And you're right, they are. But this isn't a breakdown, it's a breakthrough, disguised as loss. This is symbolic death, and it's sacred. Shadow message, you're brilliant at reinvention. You pivot, adapt, rebrand, rewrite. But sometimes, instead of letting go, you keep editing the same old identity. change becomes cosmetic, safe. But the future you're craving requires something deeper, a full relief. This time, you don't need a new version of the old you. You need to bury the script completely. Feel the funeral. Yes, it feels like grief, because it is. You're mourning the person you no longer are, the roles that no longer fit, the dreams that no longer resonate. Honor that. Don't rush through it. Real transformation isn't a glow-up. It's a letting go so complete that even your shadow breathes differently. Spiritual task. Create a ritual of release. You don't need anything fancy, just intention and honesty. Write down every label, identity, pattern, or story that no longer feels true. Burn it, bury it, rip it up and scatter it in water. As you do, say aloud, I release what no longer serves me. I honor what brought me here. I welcome what's next. Then speak a new soul contract, a statement of who you're becoming. Speak it not as hope, but as truth already alive within you. End with gratitude for your resilience, your growth, and even your past. It got you here. The rebirth after death comes life. You've survived the trials. You've earned the wisdom. Now, let the future be built by your most authentic self. Free from fear, rich with purpose. The stars don't want perfection, they want your truth. And now, finally, you're ready to live it. By June 14th, something will feel different, not dramatic, but undeniable. Your soul may be raw, a little tender, but there will be lightness where there once was weight. If you've walked each trial with courage and honesty, this is your reward, clarity. You won't be fixed, you're not broken, but you will be transformed. Your intuition will whisper louder and you'll actually listen. Your voice may grow quieter, but your truth will carry more power. And best of all, that looming shadow you once feared, you'll now walk beside it, not as prey, but as a partner. This wasn't just shadow work. This was shadow warfare, and warfare demands more than awareness. It demands resilience, discipline, and surrender. You faced fear, you faced hypocrisy, you faced heartbreak, ego, illusion, and control, and you didn't run. You stayed, you looked inward, you burned what wasn't real, and now you're no longer hiding in the light. You've learned to shine even in the dark, the wisdom of the warrior. In war, only those who know their enemy survive, but the wisest warriors, they transform their enemy into an ally. That's what you've done, Aquarius. Your shadow was never here to destroy you. It was here to complete you. So as you step forward into the second half of 2025, into your evolution, into the unknown, carry this knowing, you are not who you were. You are who you chose to become, and you chose truth. You chose freedom. You chose you. The rebirth window is open. Now walk through it, awake, aligned, and unafraid. Aquarius, you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to awaken. You are the signal in the noise, the lightning before the storm. Others may not always get you, and that's okay. You're not here to be understood. You're here to challenge, to shift, to evolve. Your loneliness, it's not a flaw. It's a sacred invitation to deeper self-connection, to hear the truth beneath the silence, to know yourself beyond reflection. Your shadow, not your shame. It is your unclaimed power, waiting to be seen, heard, and integrated. Not so you can be perfect, but so you can be whole. You faced 6 spiritual trials that cracked you open. The mirror of isolation, the trial of false idealism, the collapse of control, the wound of abandonment, the reflection of hypocrisy, the death of the old self. Each one burned away the illusion. Each one dared you to let go. And if you truly showed up for them, something inside you shifted, not just emotionally, energetically. You are not the same soul you were on June 10th. So when the dust settles on June 13th, don't ask, "What did I survive?" Ask instead, "What part of me is now free?" That's the question of a soul in evolution. That's the question of someone who's done more than heal. They've transformed. You don't need to seek approval. You don't need to shrink to be loved. You don't need to run from your shadow to be light. This is your code now. Galaxy, own your weird. Honor your truth. Walk with your shadow. Become your own revolution. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the channel for more cosmic soul maps, shadow teachings, and transformational tools designed just for you, Aquarius. Your next chapter starts now.